Hi garden friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Era and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A, where I do gardening related videos. For today's video, I'm going to be harvesting some hydrangea, the beautiful, absolutely amazing white wedding hydrangea paniculata. One of the biggest and most beautiful white blooms I have in my yard. I want to make a vase to put in the dining room table, so I want to take you along. I have 7 of the white wedding hydrangeas. These are from the folks at Southern Living Plant Collection. Got these as a clearance plant at Lowe's. You guys know I'm a big fan of Lowe's clearance, and I get pretty much 99% of my clearance plants at Lowe's. But this beauty here, just so well in my yard, and I actually did a spotlight video for it, and you can see how big the blooms are, guys. So this is the first one I'm going to cut, and I'm going to come closer to show it to you. I have a big bloom right here, and I have a couple of them right there that I definitely want to cut as well. So this is the very first one. Now these guys here, they start out a little bit greeny, and then like a lime green, and then they turn into this really nice white. So I'm going to cut it like this. And I'm going to show you the florets right here. You see how big this is, guys? I don't have any other hydrangea that gives me this really nice big bloom. Here's another one right here that I'm going to cut. And again, I'm going to come in closer for you to see it. Right here. Nice creamy white. Really, really nice. It's a conical shape. You can see it's a conical shape. Really nice and white. And I'm going to show you the way it looks like when it's actually done past the white stage. I'm going to cut this one. I'm also going to cut this one. And I'm going to cut this one. Even though this is not as big as the others, I still want to cut it because I definitely want to get my bouquet going for this year. I usually do bouquets, and because of all that's been happening, I haven't gotten around to doing as many as I usually do for the dining room table. And also to give to, friends and family who don't have gardens or feel like they can't maintain beautiful flowers because they think they have some sort of a black thumb. Okay, so I'm going to cut all of them off, leave that green guy there. And then I'm going to show you the others. This is what it looks like. How beautiful is this? All right. All right, guys, this is what they look like when they're past the white stage. They start having these really nice pink tips. And then from here, it's going to get a little bit pinker and pinker. And then as it heats up and it gets even more humid, then it will turn brown. And that will be the end of that. But they definitely go through these really nice, beautiful stages. And even this one, it might not be pure white, but it's still a beautiful look for the flower. All right, guys, so I have my proper vase, the one that's actually going to go on the dining room table. I got this from, I believe I got this from my job when I was going through what I was going through back in May and June. My job had sent me a really, really nice bouquet. And I have another one where another wonderful coworker sent me another bouquet as well. So I have 2 of this type of vase. But yeah, so what I do is I have these in a bucket. I have the ones I just cut off. I have them in a bucket, just kind of soaking. I never not want them to be in water, right, while I'm doing all this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all the leaves off because I definitely don't want any leaves in the water. You see how they look, right? Now, some of them are a little bit more fuller than others. I could just use my hand and pull this off, right? One of the ways I do that, just grab it and then I use my finger and do it this way. Or if you're proper, then you can do this, I'm going to take most of the leaves off, right? And then this is what it looks like, really nice, right? Put it back in the water. And then another one, I'm just going to hold it nice and firm, and then use my hand to kind of pull it all the way down, put it back in the water. Here's another one. It's already drooping because it's been cut off, but this one looks really, really nice. You see? Really nice. Put it back in the water. Here's one that came out the water. And then again, I might leave 1 or 2 leaves on there so you can have a little bit of a bushy look when it goes on the dining room table. Really, really like these beautiful white wedding hydrangeas. They are pure white. And my neighbor is always commenting on how beautiful they look. I should actually make them a bouquet too, now that I'm thinking about it. Right. So these guys here, like I said earlier, they are of a conical shape. They like full sun. And these are the ones that they market them as being one of the type of hydrangea paniculatas that have the steady stems. And it's so true, guys. A lot of the other types of hydrangeas, they'll get beat up a little bit. But these guys here, these stems are pretty firm and firm enough to hold up these big, beautiful blooms, guys. Let me know if you have this guy in your garden. Like I said, I have 7 of them. They're in full sun. They're in the side yard, and they do really, really great. Not known to be a pollinator plant, really, because they're not full of, nectar or anything, but they are quite beautiful. I do see the butterflies kind of, buzzing around them, but they don't really hang around them too much, right? And this is the first one I cut off, the biggest one. How pretty is this guy? This is huge. Oh my goodness, I love it. Now, these guys here are great in the South. Hydrangeas, you guys know hydrangeas are a really big deal in the South. They have come into their own. Everybody's talking about hydrangeas now, and this is one of the reasons I fell in love with it. Now, one of my favorite hydrangeas is actually the hydrangea macrophylla. Right? And those are the ones that bloom on old wood, and the reblooming ones are on old and new wood. These guys here, they bloom on new wood, and they can take more sun than the ones that are the macrophylla. Okay, so here they all are, right? So let me try to put my little bouquet together. It's just them. I'm not going to mix it up with anything else. All right, so again, here's my vase, and I'm just going to put this guy right here. Put this guy right here. Nothing fancy, but something just to put on the dining room table. Right now, there's actually some plants on my dining room table, right? And you guys don't really see the inside of my house too much because I focus mainly on outdoor plants, but I am making a transition to indoor, and you'll see a little bit of it when I take this inside, right? This guy here. Oh, it's coming together. It's so pretty. Okay. There's a one green one here, and this last guy here, I think I'm going to put him here. Okay. So, this is what it looks like, guys. I'm so happy. I'm very, very happy that I grew this. I took care of this plant, and I'm able to harvest and have these beautiful bouquets. Let me know if you like the white wedding hydrangea paniculata, how it does in your yard, and if you make bouquets. All right, guys, so I'm inside, and that's my bouquet. This is what my dining room table looks like, which is not really much going on. I just have 2 different types of monsteras in the center of my dining room table. This one is one of the Thai constellations from Lowe's, and this one is a Deliciosa that I had gotten from Trader Joe's. Now, I don't ultimately know where these are going to land, but they can't stay on the table. So I'm going to move them and put the hydrangea in the middle. And here it is, guys. Now, maybe one day in the near future, I'm definitely going to give you a little tour of my houseplants. I have probably around 70 houseplants, but my content really is about outdoor plants, but I definitely plan to transition into a little bit more content about the indoor plants. Some of them do really, really well for me. Of course, as like everybody else, I've killed a whole bunch of houseplants, but I'm finally getting my rhythm going with them. So definitely in the near future, I'll be giving you a tour. But again, really, really liking the fact that I'm able to harvest this beautiful white wedding hydrangea. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on all my new videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.